This is the receiving dock area, which is part of the raw materials warehouse. It's the largest department in the plant. What we're doing here today is unloading the parts that we'll use to manufacture our products. We're moving them into a staging area where our quality analysts will inspect the parts and assure that they're the right quality to manufacture our products. After they've inspected the parts and approved them, we'll have our material floor controllers use the locator computer system to generate a storage tag and move the material into the warehouse area. Material that's been received on the receiving dock and identified with a load ID tag is moved to the high-rise area on a conveyor system. From the conveyor, it's moved to a pickup and delivery point and then placed in its final storage location by the narrow aisle wire-guided lift trucks. Currently in the high-rise, we have over 7,000 different locations, and in those locations we store over 3,000 different parts. Our current inventory accuracy level is at 99.98%. This allows us to avoid taking a physical inventory on an annual basis.
This is the roll form area. We now manufacture our own steel frames and slotted standards because we found that we can produce a much better part than we could buy on the market. This area has 3 sections and all 3 are computer controlled. The coil buildup line uses gamma rays and lasers to ensure that the steel meets our high standards. Then we have 2 roll form mills which takes the flat steel from the coil buildup lines and turns it into a slotted standard or a style and rail by forming, punching, and shearing the steel. All through the line, we have built-in quality checks to make sure that the metal is punched correctly, straight, and to the right length. Another great feature of this line is that it changes sizes and parts automatically without stopping or having to reset up, and this saves us an incredible amount of time. All in all, we end up with a top quality steel at a low cost, and you can't beat that.
Begins here where the 16-gauge steel frame material arrives from our own roll form line. We use semi-automatic equipment like this MIG welder to position and weld the frame pieces into an extremely strong frame that is square and true to size.
This is the fabric department where we assemble fabric panels of various colors and sizes. The steel frame is brought over from the welding area where the hardboard and septum go in. From there, the fiberglass is taped into the frame for acoustical purposes. Then it's wheeled over to these tables where we put our fabric on. And we lay it on straight. That's half the battle. And we line up our top so there's no variation in lines. Once we get our top lined up, we take our beading, and we roll the top in and bring the bead all the way around. Then we have to line up the sides so we get to keep the fabric straight, and then we pull it tight. Then we go back up and roll this side in. Pull all the slack out from this side, and then pull the slack out from the bottom. Once we get the bottom in, we go to the last side, make sure it's straight, you make sure all your slack is out so the fabric is nice and tight. Clip off your excess bead. This is so the top cap fits on tight. and then trim off your excess fabric. Then we turn it over and do the other side.
We're responsible for the powder coating of a large number of items for our furniture systems. What we have here is a 5-stage washer as opposed to a 3. It washes each part twice and rinses each twice before we apply a phosphate coating. That coating etches each part and allows the powder to adhere. Then the part goes through a dry-off oven, which removes moisture. Then they're electrostatically powder coated and then cured for 12 to 15 minutes in a bake oven. We take a great deal of care with every step of this process.
We use powder because it gives you a good consistent quality day after day. It's very uniform, it's predictable, and that overall is better for the customer because we're able to do more work and better quality work. And powder is the only way to go. I'm convinced of that.
We make sure each frame meets our strict specifications.
I take pride in what I do because I want it done right the first time.
I think we're putting out a good quality panel, and we're making sure every panel is right.
We're making sure that you get only the best.
Quality is what we're looking for.
In the layup, saw, and tenator area, all of the wood surfaces, cabinets, micarta panels are laminated and cut to size. We have a computerized scheduling system that controls the movements of materials in this section. It combines 2 days of material and comes up with an efficient schedule that keeps track of everything right up to shipping.
I've worked with a shelling saw since its installation here at Westinghouse, and there's no comparison to any other saw that I've ever had a chance to work with. It's an amazing piece of technology. Let me tell you a little bit about it. I programmed the machine, and the material is automatically fed into the machine, lifted onto a table, stacked, and aligned. I can run one sheet or several sheets. It is then fed through 3 different saws. The 3 saws can make several different cuts. The pieces can be taken away separately, made the finished cuts, and then when the material comes out the other end, it is accurate and precise.
The Snelling saw is impressive, but what we do over here at the tenators is even more impressive. And what we receive over here is material in a semi-finished state from the Snelling saw. As we run it through the machine, we are able to put desired edges, corners, special routes, slots for T-molding, and special grooves for flipper doors. And all these cuts we make here, we are able to keep precise, accurate, and within 1/1000th of an inch. The commitment Westinghouse has made with this high-tech machinery lets me take pride in what I do.
This is the engine and quarter department. We assemble desks, work surfaces, and computer and conference tables in this area. What I like about this department is everybody is very quality conscious and concerned with making a good product. The company has given us the proper tools and equipment to do our jobs well. And it's paying off because our volume is increasing with new business.
Here at the cabinet department, we've made a lot of improvements lately. One of the major things is that we have definitely been streamlining the flow of the material through the department. The idea for this change came from our task force. We now start the material at one end of our department, and it moves logically to our staging areas. This has been a big change, and I feel it's made us a lot more efficient.
One of the things our task force was able to do was to get the tenitors to round the corners of our panels. This is a much better way to do it because the tenitor has consistent quality and eliminates extra handling of the wood. This has made my job much faster because all I have to do now is to drill the panels. Another thing we did was to improve the packaging of some of our cabinets. We now use styrofoam corners instead of making up cardboard ones, which was very time-consuming. This may seem like a small thing, but it really helps.
But something else happened through all of this. The attitudes of the people have changed. The people became more excited about seeing their own ideas implemented. They cared more about their work. And now we're working together as a team. I know these improvements are working because we have almost no replacements for warranties out of our department. The quality is almost perfect. It's very, very seldom that we have to replace anything that's been damaged or something that was shorted. We send out an almost perfect product almost all the time.
Welcome to the electrical department. We assemble all the electrical parts of the panels here. And we have two areas. One is power sources, where we assemble in-feeds, power panels, LCA lights, and ceiling assemblies. The other area is power transfers, where we assemble raceways and jumpers. We also supply components which meet Canadian and overseas electrical standards.
We've had a great deal of improvement here in the area. Everything has been made spacious. In the power source area, the tables were built wide enough to accommodate both parts testing equipment and their tools. And in the power transfer area, we had our tables designed to accommodate a 5-foot raceway. Everything flows easily. There's no bottlenecks, which also helps productivity. And your parts are right where you can get at them to begin with. The people are proud of what they do and are trying constantly to improve it.
Welcome to the WFS Shipping Department. I'm glad I can take a few minutes of your time to explain our operation. Our mission here is to ensure that we ship complete orders and on time. We have arranged our warehouse racks so that our aisles face the doors or the customers. This has given us the ability to improve our turnaround time by as much as 33% over our standard warehouse layout. This has also given us the flexibility to ship orders on time and to meet customers' delivery requirements.
I'm a loader here in shipping. I'm the last one to handle the product before a customer sees it. I want to make sure it arrives in the same condition as when it left here. We work with a computer system which we call the online shipping system. This generates all the paperwork we need to locate our order and to stage it in front of the loading doors. This has given us more time to plan the loading, and that helps prevent damage in transit. As a double check, I scan the barcode labels on each and every skid and carton. That's done to make sure the order is 100% complete. As this is done, our system is updated to show that the material has been loaded on the appropriate carrier and trailer.
We now have the ability to interface with our carrier's computers to automatically obtain accurate tracing information. Each morning we require our carriers to send us a computerized update of where each and every shipment is en route. The information is uploaded to our computer and made available to Westinghouse field sales and customer service representatives. The same information is then stored and retrieved at the end of each month to provide quality reports on our carrier's performance. So what that's really done for us is given us 100% control over our customer orders. We know from the day it's picked up the status of our shipments every day until they're delivered.
From the frames that I make
to the ones that I weld,
from the fabric that I roll
to the panels I inspect,
From the wood I cut
to the corners that I round, from the tabletops I drill,
to the tabletops I pack, from the pallets that I scan,
to the ones that I ship.
it's quality that counts.
Quality.
Quality.
quality.